The Realm of the Mist show that you are currently tuned into will begin in about 5 minutes. Until then, enjoy this wonderful tune.
Why does a good man have to die? Another piece of shit to be born. Reasons unheard of tearing my flesh. My heart is ripped, my soul is torn. Another piece of shit to be born. Your soul is pure when your pockets all dry.
For over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace and justice in the Old Republic. Before the Dark Times. Before the Empire.
Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the relaunch of Journal of the Jedi here on Realm of the Mist Entertainment. I am your host, Christopher Stolle, and joining me for the Jedi Council tonight... Sorry, I better not say that. Collider might sue me. For the Council of Jedi tonight is the keeper of the true War of the Stars, Mr. John Martully.
May the Force be with you.
And Jar Jar Binks' retarded half-cousin, Keith Partlow.
Low blow.
Wow.
Low blow.
He said, don't mean it like that.
I like to think I'm a step up from Jar Jar Binks.
Well, I did call you the retarded half cousin. So, I mean, yeah, that is a step up.
Oh, wow.
You know the difference. You know the difference between Jar Jar being retarded, or Jar Jar's half cousin being retarded, and Jar Jar Binks is at least the cousin has an excuse.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I don't know if you guys were paying attention this weekend, but something happened in the Star Wars universe.
There's this trailer for this little small indie movie that just came out.
Yeah, little like Sundance Film Festival type deal.
Yeah, low budget movie. Yeah.
Yeah, what was it called? Rise of the Clerks.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Kevin Smith picture.
That's kind of where I was going with it. No, guys, we had Star Wars Celebration all weekend, and we got a couple trailers dropped down. We are going to play the trailer that everybody wants to know. We're going to give a review on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I figure before we do that, let's give a quick just rundown of the other shit that we got to see in Celebration. As far as trailers concerned, if you want full details of the celebration itself, some of the key points that happened in the conversations and everything else, make sure you tune in this Wednesday to War of the Stars, a Star Wars podcast, here on Realm of the Mist Entertainment. Mr. John Marcoli and myself will be breaking down all the celebrations, so kind of consider this part the preview to that.
That's right.
So, first and foremost, let's get Zep really involved in this conversation. Jedi Fallen Order dropped the trailer, gameplay trailer, if I'm not mistaken, 2.5 minute gameplay trailer.
Oh, I'm so excited!
You guys watched that?
I have been waiting for like a really good Star Wars game that you get to play and use Force powers since The Force Unleashed 2. And just Battlefront just didn't do that for me. Battlefront's always been more of like the battle arena style gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been looking for something similar to The Force Unleashed, and with Fallen Order, the trailer dropping, it looks like I'm finally going to get that fix again. So I am super excited for this. And I'm really hoping, like we did with Force Unleashed, we get to like change lightsaber colors and shit.
What, you don't want the blue?
That's always been a big thing for me.
You don't want the blue?
I mean, I like to change it up every once in a while.
Fair enough. I know. In Force Unleashed 2, I ran with a red and purple lightsaber, just to be an asshole. Even though I'm doing Jedi things, I'm running around with a Sith lightsaber and Mace Windu's signature weapon.
As soon as I found out about the black lightsaber, I went and got that thing. And man, was it a pain in the ass. They stuck a holocron way up top on top of some pylon in the Death Star area or whatever, and climbing up there was a challenge.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right, John, how about you? I know you're not really much in the way of video games, but did you see the trailer for Fallen?
Honestly, I have not been able. The only trailer, and I'll fully admit this, and maybe I need to give away my Star Wars card. The only trailer that I've been really had a chance to see so far has been the main trailer, which I've seen about 700 times already. I just keep watching and watching and watching, trying to see as much stuff as I can. I'm just trying to break that trailer down as much as I can and just get as much detail. So honestly, that's the one I've been focusing mainly on, is just watching and seeing every little single detail that I can pull out of the Rise of Skywalker's trailer.
Well, you do know in our group chat, I shared all the trailers, so that way
you
can research for War of the Stars comes Wednesday.
Yeah.
All right, well then forgive me a second. I'm going to go back to Zep real quick, so we can finish up on video games here. Zep, open world concept. Do you think this is going to be a lot more free roam than Force Unleashed was? Because Force Unleashed was very linear.
Oh, probably. I feel like it's going to be a lot more open world because just the way that games have seemed to have been going in recent years. And now that we have the hardware on consoles and on PC, although we've had it on PC for a while, we have that hardware that can hold up to that. And so we've got big open world games like Fallout 76, like Skyrim, like all of these open world games. It would be strange for Jedi Fallen Order to not follow suit.
No,
At least I think, from the technical aspect of it.
No, I absolutely agree with you, and I think it would be a mistake to not let Star Wars be a little bit more open world. I mean, not open world, but open galaxy. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
Let us go explore a little bit. But the final question I have for Fallen Order for both you guys can answer this, because I know Mark's not much into the video game aspect. That's why I wanted to have two pit members on the on the Senate tonight. Whatever. Whatever.
The Senate is here.
The Senate.
I am the Senate.
I'm the Senate.
We will get there. Is this game, to our knowledge, canon?
I would say so.
At this point, I think it would kind of have to be, because ever since Disney acquired Star Wars, they've been really putting the kibosh on anything that isn't canon.
Well, the first Battlefront was not canon.
Yeah, fair point.
That's why I was asking: is this something that's just for the fun and love of Star Wars, or is this actually going to have take part in official canon?
I would feel we're going to have to see it when it comes out, what the actual storyline is, because at this point it could go either way. I definitely enjoy the fact of the main story from what the trailer gives us seems to be something that I've been tossing around in my head, at least as far as the Star Wars universe is concerned, for a while. There's got to be a ton of Jedi that survived Order 66.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And immediately went into hiding because they had no idea who was still alive or who to trust. And so they just laid low.
Well, see, that's one of the things...
Tried not to bring attention to themselves.
That's one of the things I liked about like Star Wars Rebels, and that I like about this main character that you play in Fallen Order, is that they're Padawans. And it does tie in canonically with Episode 3, because Yoda and Obi-Wan did send out the change the distress signal to send out to warn all Jedi to go into hiding.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that the temple had fallen, go into hiding. So you got to figure at least some of the Jedi got that warning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that definitely, I agree with you on that. But I especially like the fact that it's Padawans. I can almost see it like, you know,
I
the clones.
have a related theory that ties into the title of the new movie, but we'll get to that when we get to the trailer breakdown.
All right, well, we'll get to that. We'll definitely get to that. I'll save that portion. All right, so the next thing we got to talk about here, since we're working our way up to the movie trailer, let's talk about Clone Wars Season 7. Getting our first real look of Clone Wars Season 7, where we also got to see that Ahsoka returns to the side of Anakin Skywalker and meets up with Anakin's 501st. And they still give Rex and company are still giving her the commander respect, even though she is no longer a Jedi. Anybody watch these trailers? And in turn, how excited are you for Season 7?
I'm just excited to see Ahsoka again.
Yeah. I haven't had a chance. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to watch it. I'm sorry. I apologize, but yeah, just to see Clone Wars back, to see Ahsoka back, is, and you know, I as far as the 501st giving her respect, I mean, of course, you know, she fought alongside them for how long now. Of course, they're still going to give her the respect because she knows she's earned it.
Right.
So that doesn't surprise me, but yeah, I'm totally stoked to see Clone Wars return.
What I like is to see the full 180 of the characters, the relationship between Rex and Ahsoka from the Clone Wars movie.
Yeah.
To season 7's trailer, where Rex keeps calling her commander, and she turns around and tells him, "I'm not a command. You don't have to call me commander anymore, Rex. I'm not a commander." And Rex's response is, "Yes, commander." And then you think back to the original movie where she was like, "I'm a Jedi, so technically I outrank you," and he refuses that. He's like, in my book, experience outranks everything, type deal. So it really shows you that Rex had watched her grow and become a commander, a leader, a person to respect.
Well, and the one thing I'm wondering is will we see a slightly darker Anakin? Because will this bookend right to Episode 3?
No idea. No idea, but I hope so. I hope we start seeing a little bit more of Anakin's dark side, even though you can't go too dark.
No,
because of the fact that he was kind of more lighthearted in the beginning of Episode 3.
Yeah.
When he's flying through the battle to go save Chancellor Palpatine.
Yeah.
With Obi-Wan, they're having their little quibs and having fun tearing down droids and shit like that. So
this is where the fun begins.
Yeah, so I can't necessarily see him being too dark.
No.
I have a need for more of Obi-Wan's sass.
Yes. Well, speaking of sass, I've been seeing all over the internet ever since it's been released. Boba Fett who? Guys, I know you didn't, but the Mandalorian trailer and the couple minutes of actual, I would assume first episode footage that was put out by Star Wars Celebration. If you haven't seen it, I'll put it to you this way. I was not looking forward to The Mandalorian. I wasn't. Because I don't care about Mandalorians. I'm one of those people where it's like, okay, they're cool, they look neat, but who do I have? Jango and Boba. Boba had 5 lines in the movie. One of them was while he's getting killed by a toothy butthole. And Jango a little bit more badass, but I didn't care about the Mandalorian people.
Yeah.
Within the Star Wars universe. The first couple cuts of the show that they showed us, and the trailer that they showed us, I am completely 180 on it. I cannot fucking wait for this show. Oh my god, it looks so good.
It certainly looks interesting.
Yeah.
For a show that has absolutely nothing to do with Jedi. Because it takes place a couple years after Endor. After the Battle of Endor. So the only Jedi at this point is Luke. So... I'm pretty sure that the Mandalorian is not going to have a run-in with Luke Skywalker.
No.
Probably not.
So for a show that has absolutely nothing to do with Jedi, this looks gritty, it looks dark, it looks like it has a little bit of humor to it. The best way I can describe it is, at least from the footage I saw, it almost felt like an old Western. Like an Unforgiven or Tombstone style feel to it.
It's a space western.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
Like a wagon train along the stars. Wait, wrong franchise.
Wait, yeah, I was about to say. Wait, where have I heard that before?
Wait, wrong franchise. So, again, I'm not going to ask your guys' opinion because I'm assuming, I know Mark didn't see it, and I'm assuming, Zep, you hadn't had a chance yet either.
I'm a bad Star Wars fan.
You skimmed it? All right, well, your opinion.
I mean, it looks interesting. I was mostly looking at costume design and visuals because I actually wasn't able to listen to it with the volume up because I was watching it at work. So... I don't have any idea what was said in the trailer at all. I was just looking at all the visuals and the costume design and everything. It was on point. It definitely looks like it belongs in the Star Wars universe, which I guess is my first benchmark for a Star Wars property is it needs to look like it belongs.
No, absolutely, and that's the thing. I think Jon Favreau is definitely showing that he is not only a great director, which we all knew, but that Jon Favreau is somebody who does care about Star Wars. And he is really attempting to make this. And, of course, he's working alongside, George Lucas Jr., and the keeper of the sacred tomes of Lucas, Mr. Dave Filoni.
Mm-hmm.
George's Padawan.
George's Padawan. So...
Also, apparently I read something somewhere about they reached out to the 501st
Yes, I saw that. I saw...
For help.
There's actually a picture of, I think it was Filoni, and he, on set and with members of the 501st, because they had a scene where they needed stormtroopers and they didn't have enough stormtroopers, enough armor for the stormtroopers or something like that, and they reached out to the 501st to be members of the local 501st where they were shooting at to be extras in some of the scenes.
Yep.
So
I did see that because there was a scene where he just couldn't get enough people and wardrobe to make enough stormtrooper outfits. Yeah. And so they got a local garrison of the 501st to come out and shoot. Which
is kind of awesome. Fan involvement is always great.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, again, we're talking about Jon fucking Favreau. Like the guy is such a Star Wars fanatic that he begged JJ just to have a small little teeny tiny part in the Star Wars the sequel movies, and he's also voiced characters in Clone Wars. Like this dude's as deep seated into Star Wars as J.J. Abrams is now, at least at minimum. So
all the lens flare.
Give me all the lens flare.
Lens flare.
Give me the lens. I'm fine with it. Give me all the lens flare. Well, since we're talking about J.J. Abrams and lens flare, he's got a new movie coming out.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
What do you say?
Star something, right?
Star something. Yeah, something. I think it might be another Star Trek.
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna play this right now, real quick, guys. Listen up.
Oh, you fucking twat. We got ourselves a fucking spoiler.
That should be good enough. That is a spoiler warning, guys, just to let you know that we are going to be playing the trailer in its entirety. So I'm going to let that run. I'm going to give you a 5 count. If you don't want to know what's happening in the new movie, pause, fast forward, whatever. It's about a 2-minute trailer. Pause, fast forward, whatever you want to do, until you're ready to see the stuff, and we're going to talk about it afterwards. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We've passed on all we know. 1,000 generations live in you now. But this is your fight.
Palpatine laugh, though.
Oh my god!
Oh yes.
I still get goosebumps every time I watch that.
I know. Yeah, me too. Yes.
All right, so, but we can't start at the end. We got to start at the beginning, guys.
Definitely.
If we're gonna analyze this thing and break it down to its essentials, we got to start at the beginning. We got to talk about Rey standing in the desert, breathing heavy for whatever reason, probably because she was running through the desert.
Mm-hmm.
She has Luke's lightsaber reassembled.
She has Anakin's lightsaber.
She has the Skywalker lightsaber reassembled.
Yes.
Because we can argue all
Technically,
day.
Luke's lightsaber is the green one. Because
Fair
that's the one
enough.
he actually built.
Yeah. True.
You know what? I'm actually kind of a little disappointed. When the trailer first started, and you see the desert and her standing there, I really wanted, even though I expected like a blue blade to come out of it, I wanted the hilt of Luke's Jedi lightsaber.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because I really thought that the desert would be Tatooine. That doesn't mean that the desert isn't Tatooine. Do we know if it's Tatooine or Jakku? Or
is it someplace else?
Yeah,
is
or
it
some
Jeddah?
other desert planet.
That's also a possibility.
Is it possibly Jeddah?
You think Jeddah? Really?
It could be. I mean, if she's looking for Jedi, the remains of Jedi, Jedi temples, or anything, even though Jeddah was partially destroyed, it's possible it could be Jeddah.
But wouldn't Jeddah still be kind of like oh my god, the nuclear meltdown of Russia?
Chernobyl?
Possibly.
Chernobyl.
Yeah,
Thank you.
possibly.
Where it's still really
out,
really irradiated from the Death Star single reactor only shot.
Yeah, I mean that's possible. I was just throwing out, another possibility. We don't know.
Right. Well, we don't know if the Death Star laser actually emits radiation.
Yeah.
I imagine not, since it runs on kyber crystals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, Jedi be growing third
It's essentially
heads.
a giant lightsaber array.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Is like, because otherwise Jedi be growing like third heads every time they ignite their lightsaber.
And
But,
the midichlorians protect him.
But we have her standing on a desert planet, which we're assuming, or I'm assuming, is Tatooine.
Yeah.
Could be Jeddah. Could be
Jakku.
Jakku. Could be a brand new location we don't know.
Which, I mean, how many desert planets does the Star Wars universe have then?
Yeah,
It's like every other planet a desert planet.
Right? It seems to be the easiest place to film. But then all of a sudden we hear the screech and yell, and as the camera starts panning the desert, we all of a sudden get a black streak screeching through the screen. Kylo Ren's TIE silencer speeding through the desert.
Slightly different design than the one we saw in Last Jedi, though.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Was
it a TIE silencer? It looked a lot more like a TIE interceptor to me.
It looked like a new version of a TIE interceptor, because it had the more rounded body of the classic TIE fighter than Kylo's kind of square, rectangular body of his silencer. It still could be Kylo's ship. I still think Kylo is flying it, but it's definitely not at least not the silencer from Last Jedi.
My feeling on it is I think JJ's taking Kylo back to the direction of being the next Vader.
Yeah.
Allowing his obsession to return about being his grandfather. So, yeah, I could definitely see a TIE prototype / TIE silencer
and
hybrid that he's flying.
Yeah. And do we know that this is actually happening, or is this a force vision?
It was a very crisp sequence that they did. I mean, with the running through the desert, the ship flying in the background, and then that fucking flip, though.
Oh.
The problem I have is that it cuts off right at the top of her arc of the flip. So we don't know if she's flipping to get on top of the TIE fighter or if she's trying to cut that bitch in half.
Yeah.
That was my thought. I don't know if she was because if you look at the position of the lightsaber, it's not positioned at the cockpit. It's positioned at one of the wing pylons. I think she's just looking to take out that one side of the wings.
Yeah.
And crash that bitch.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, and again, like I believe it was John that just said, it could just be a vision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. They in the latest movies, they've definitely been expanding a lot on the force abilities that we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. So.
Yeah.
But then we there's not a whole lot we could dig out of this trailer because it is a teaser, which by the way, just to go on record, from the last War of the Stars, I called it, didn't I? Teaser with the title.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it was longer than a lot of people that some people thought. I thought it was definitely a very long. It was bordering on being a full trailer. I think it had been just just a little bit longer. You could have called it a full trailer, but I think we did still get a lot of stuff from it. I mean,
oh, absolutely, but it was more feel than anything else because the only the only talking we had in the whole entire trailer was Luke's overlay in the beginning and at the end.
And that's something I wanted to touch on really quick.
Feel free.
Just the overall feel of the trailer is, when I compared it to Last Jedi, this had a much more epic feel. This feels much more broad. I think that was, and everyone's got their own opinion of Last Jedi. I think the one thing that I think Last Jedi maybe lacked was this epic scope. Last Jedi seemed to be a very insular film. It was all inside, because most of the film was shot in space. It was on a planet, with the exception of where the last battle was. It seemed very small and enclosed. This seems very open and expansive and just epic, which I think Star Wars. I think this movie needed that. This movie needs to be just epic.
Well, it kind of follows the theme of the prior trilogies as well, because Return of the Jedi had that epic feel to it as well, because it was the final showdown with Vader and the Emperor and Luke coming into his own as a Jedi. And Revenge of the Sith had that epic feel because it was Anakin finally becoming Vader, and Order 66 and the fall of the Jedi and the rise of the Empire. So it's very true to form that the third movie of the most recent trilogy is that epic.
And all three of the third movies have R in the title. Revenge, Return, Rise.
Yep.
Not wrong. And, I think it also fits another theme, too. Of course, everybody's looking at this movie as to be the movie that retcons Episode 8, and destroys Rian Johnson's travesty of a film. But I think it's going to tie it in just right. Where even if JJ's retconning something, you're not sure if it's a retcon or a plan all along. Type deal. And part of the reason I say that is I think the theme that we're getting out of this teaser trailer with using Luke's voiceover is the fact that in Episode 8, Luke was very broken. He was depressed. He was defeated. So the trailers and the movie itself followed Luke's depression.
Yeah.
It was a downer movie because it was supposed to show how desperate the Resistance was, how desperate Luke Skywalker was, and the whole entire situation at large.
Follows with the theme of the prior trilogies as well, because the middle movie was almost always the downer movie.
Right.
Empire Strikes Back. The rebellion got the shit kicked out of them in that movie at every turn.
Attack of the
And,
Clones, learning about the secret clone army, which was being built for the specific war that was coming
Yeah.
behind the Jedi's back. Yeah, I mean that is true, but I mean just within the trilogy itself, you had Luke at his lowest point in Last Jedi, and now you listen to this trailer, you listen to Luke. It's perfect that they use Luke's overlay for this, because to steal a line from Rey from Last Jedi is Luke sounds peaceful and purposeful.
Yeah.
You know, he sounds like he's at peace but has purpose when he's telling her that you are now, we're all inside you. You have thousands of generations of Jedi within you, but this is your fight.
Yeah.
You know?
And the trailer does it with Luke's voiceover, does a very good job of raising the stakes for everything.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It takes a nice heavy weight and sets it on Rey's shoulders.
Yeah. What I'm really interested to see is, and I know I got emotional when I saw Leia. I mean, that was just like, I'm in the break room. I'm like looking around like, okay, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. No, I'm okay.
Right.
But I mean, and people have talked about this before. Force Awakens was essentially Han's movie.
Oh, absolutely. And Last Jedi was
Luke's. This was supposed to be Leia's movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved in the trailer that they did a reworking of the John Williams Leia's theme.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, that was just so beautiful throughout it. And hearing that again and seeing that, I'm like, oh, just so
nice.
beautiful.
Look, it doesn't mean that Leia won't survive this movie or couldn't survive this movie, even though Carrie Fisher, unfortunately, is left us far too soon, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I pretty much do have a feeling that Leia's gone this movie. However, I have a sneaking suspicion that Lando gets away.
Oh.
Can we talk about Lando flying the Falcon?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And no, I'm not
He just
talking
looks
about
so happy.
Donald Glover. I'm not talking about Donald fucking Glover. Billy D. motherfucking Colt 45 Williams behind the stick of the Millennium Falcon.
And that laugh, I know Keith talked about that Palpatine laugh, but that Billy D laugh, that
we kind of skips over something in that quick fire that it gives us all those scenes of Billy D flying the Millennium Falcon, BB-8 and his little robot buddy sitting there.
Yeah, B.O. D.O.
Yeah,
D.O.
D.O. Can I just say I laughed when I heard that the droid's designation is going to be D.O. because my mind instantly jumped to another internet meme, and I don't know if anyone here in this fandom is going to get it, but my brain just jumped right to is that a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reference?
Well, the funny thing I got from it, because I remember seeing the droid on stage right before they did the teaser trailer on Celebration, and he's rolling around just like they did when they unveiled BB-8 for Force Awakens, you know, since he's a new droid and showing that he is a practical droid. And all I thought was he looks like the desk lamp from the Pixar animation studio.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Oh.
But it was kind of funny. We could talk about that on War of the Stars, but when he came out, he kind of got a lukewarm reception. Like, the fans didn't know what to make of him.
Yeah.
But
I'm always excited for new droids. I like the droids.
Oh, absolutely. But, you know, I'm hoping, if I'm hoping
especially
hope,
K2SO.
Oh, my God. K2, it has been confirmed that K2 will be in the Cassian Andor prequel show. TV show that's going to be on Disney Plus, and he will be acted out and voiced by Alan Tudyk.
Oh, thank you.
But that's for War of the Stars. We're still on the trailer here.
The leaf continues to fly.
Was Kylo Ren kind of giving a rock bottom with a lightsaber through the chest?
That looked exactly like a rock bottom with a lightsaber, and that looked awesome.
To a Knight of Ren.
We think I mean, do you think that they would show the
Yeah,
reunion of the Knights of Ren that quickly in the teaser trailer?
Definitely looked like he was hitting one of his own guys there. Like,
Yeah.
I saw that and I'm like, was that a Resistance guy? And I had to go back and look at it again. I'm like, no, that looks like a First Order troop.
But then at the same time, you see looks like the First Order. He has First Order troops fighting with him. Because you see off to the side, he's running, and you see a soldier running beside him, not coming towards him, but running beside him. So I don't know.
Which is making me think: is the First Order split? Do they have factions now?
You think that Hux might be leading another faction?
Possibly.
Well, no, I'm not. I don't think the First Order split. You know what I think? If you want to be technical, I think the Knights of Ren. The reason we didn't see them in Last Jedi, and we only heard about them in Force Awakens, is we've just. And again, I'm jumping ahead on this trailer here, but we just learned that Palpatine's kind of puppet mastering everything, whether it's a clone, Force ghost, whatever. Who's to say that the rest of the Knights of Ren weren't acting as Gamorrean royal guards to whatever the Emperor is in this movie? In which case, maybe...
definitely know Snoke bit it in the last movie.
Yeah.
Like they killed him.
And now we understand why. Why would you kill Snoke? Why? He's a useless character. Oh!
Because there is somebody so much bigger just waiting right around the corner.
Oh, my God. And again, I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself, but we know, we've had it confirmed that Ian McDiarmid, a.k.a. Sheev Palpatine.
The Senate,
Mr. Darth Sidious himself, is in this fucking movie. Now, whether he's a flashback, whether he's a Force ghost or a clone or a hologram or something, I don't know. But we know he's in this movie.
Now, I think that would be epic of a Force ghost showdown between
Luke and Palpatine.
Luke and Palpatine. Possibly even Anakin.
I'm almost guaranteeing Anakin's gonna show up in this movie.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be one of the surprises. Because let's be fair, why would you give away the fact that Palpatine is in this film and not have something else to blow people's minds?
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I know I shared the picture, but I loved. Oh, sorry. I loved seeing.
Go ahead.
Oh, I love seeing the picture of Hayden Christensen and Matt Lanter together. The two Anakins standing side by side. That was to me, that was just awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I mean, but on a grand scale, this trailer looks absolutely epic. It looks like a Star Wars trailer.
Oh! Last one more question though.
Sure.
That last scene before we hear the laugh. That's definitely the Death Star.
That's Death Star 2. We are on Endor. We are on Endor. That is pieces of the deflector dish of Death Star 2.
You think that's the Forest Moon?
That's the Forest Moon.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's the Forest
moon
or if it's actually Endor, the planet.
Was Endor?
Endor was a forest moon.
No. Endor.
Yeah.
Endor. The Battle of Endor was the Forest Moon of Endor, but the Forest Moon of Endor. There's still an actual planet that this moon.
Yeah.
Much
orbits.
like.
Yeah, but I didn't know if on Yavin 4, the planet of Yavin itself is a gas giant.
Right, it was a gas giant.
I didn't know if Endor was the same thing or if there was an actual physical.
Not sure.
I don't know if they've ever really touched on that in canon.
No, I don't think they have. In all the time, even in the EU stuff, if anything dealt with Endor, it was always the Forest Moon. So they never really touched base on whether the the moon orbited an actual habitable planet or a gas giant or nothingness. Just a rogue moon.
Because they've either referred to it as the forest moon or the sanctuary moon of Endor.
Right.
But
so who knows? Who knows? Maybe Endor isn't even a planet. Maybe it's a rogue moon that just circulates Endor, the system, aka the solar system that it's in.
Possibility.
You don't really know. They've never touched base on. Maybe they'll touch base on it here, but that is definitely parts of Death Star 2.
Oh
yeah. Oh yeah.
Which to me means Ewoks.
Yep. Ewoks, possibility.
I could be wrong here, and I know I hear the groans from some people now. At least they're not fucking porgs, okay?
Hey, I liked the porgs, and the porgs actually served a purpose.
True.
I like porgs too, with barbecue sauce.
The porgs would not have been a thing at all if it weren't for the damn puffins.
Yes. Yep.
Like that was just nature and them finding a workaround for it.
I'm pretty sure
that was a pretty ingenious way to do that. And I did like the scene when Chew was barbecuing one of them, and they're all looking at him, and instead of putting it away, he just turns around and keeps eating it.
The thing though is, I'm pretty sure porgs will be in this movie. If JJ's gonna carry over from 8, which he has to. I mean, it's a trilogy.
Yeah.
There is a nest of porg on the Falcon. One of which I'm pretty sure is now Chewie's pet.
/ emergency food rations.
Emergency food rations.
Food rations.
So we're definitely going to see at least one porg.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll see Chief Wicked.
It's a possibility.
Possible.
The thing I'm thinking about with them very obviously looking at the remains of Death Star 2, it definitely ties into that Palpatine laugh at the end there. Because he died on Death Star 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible that they're there either looking for something related to him or trying to find answers.
What if this is one of the tie-ins to the prequels? What if Sidious, a.k.a. Palpatine, did actually find the ability to cheat death?
You talking about the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Plagueis the Wise? Absolutely, because it's not a story a Jedi would tell you.
It would tell. I know.
No, but he told that story, and he said that nobody had ever, only one had achieved it, but he couldn't save himself. But what if Sidious actually achieved it?
It's a possibility.
So we're not talking Force Ghost or clone.
It would definitely bring everything full circle.
Yeah, so we're not talking about a Force Ghost or a clone. We're talking about Sheev in the flesh. I threw the whole Senate at him. The whole Senate.
Good.
And the fact that after they ran the trailer and you had the laugh and the title card reveal, and then the lights go up in the theater, and there's Mr. Ian McDermott to a standing ovation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And he says one simple phrase.
Roll it again.
Roll it again.
Yep, that was nice. Roll it again.
In Sidious's voice. Oh, my God. It was just, goosebumps, chills.
So, I have a theory about the title.
I do too.
That's where I was going to go next. Let's talk about the reveal.
Everybody is talking about how Rise of Skywalker is talking about how Rey is a Skywalker or is the next Skywalker. I have an alternate theory.
Listening.
I think that the Rise of Skywalker isn't talking about Rey specifically and her rise or her coming into her own as a Jedi. I think it's about Rey carrying the torch from Luke and building his legacy.
That's kind of what I was going for, thinking too, that maybe now that, like, essentially in Last Jedi, the Jedi essentially are no more. At least that circular battle between Jedi and Sith is over. Maybe now Skywalker becomes the new title for this more nuanced Force user, that they will become known as Skywalkers. Much, even though, like they've said before, Skywalker is a common name in the Star Wars universe, maybe that now becomes more of a title. You are now, instead of being a Jedi, you are now a Skywalker.
That's interesting. I was taking it in a more literal sense. What if it's the resurrection of Luke Skywalker? Or Luke and Anakin for the final battle.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many, and I think, and of course we'll talk more about this on Wednesday, but my biggest concern about the trail is, and you kind of saw this happen with Last Jedi, where you had the teaser trailer so far in advance that all these speculations, and then when the movie finally came out and it didn't live up to so many fans' expectations, they revolted. And I mean,
it wasn't so much about expectations. It was the fact that people started believing their own fan theories. Like, we just offered 3 fan theories to the title. That doesn't mean that we're right in any way. We're not putting any stock in anything we said. This is just something that came to our minds. And I personally, I know I'm speaking for everybody else here, but I personally am not going to soil my view of the movie based on my fan theories.
No, I don't think anyone here was, but there are people who do, they get so invested in what they think it's supposed to be. Like I said, you saw this in Last Jedi. They got so invested in all these different theories that when their theory turned out not to be true, they were so upset because, well, you didn't do what I wanted to do. And do you think that giving the people this much time to stoke over these new theories now might end up hurting?
Yes and no.
It's kind of a 50-50.
Yeah.
Yes and no, because part of the fun of the fandom of Star Wars is to speculate, to think about these things, especially when we got new movies coming, or they drop a little bit of this and a little bit of that here and there. That's part of the fun, is to sit down and talk about this shit. And it's like, well, I think it's going to be this. Well, I think it's going to be this. That's part of the appeal of being a Star Wars fan. That's almost as appealing as the fact of sitting there with a big bucket of popcorn and a oversized soda for 3 hours and just going to that galaxy far, far away. Yeah. The problem is that certain fan bases within this current climate of fandom, they start in wrestling. We used to call it we start believing our own gimmicks.
Mm-hmm.
Which basically means you play a character in wrestling, which is separate from your real life, your actual person and personality. Yeah. But people who start being like their character 24/7 are people who start believing their own gimmicks.
Yeah, I've heard it. Acting. Being a wrestling fan and you being another term I've heard is they work themselves into a shoot.
Exactly. No, it's the exact same thing. I think that's what a lot of fan bases are doing nowadays, is they spend so much time fan theorizing, over-analyzing, listening to other people over-analyze, including us, and they take all that together and they formulate this crazy theory, and when it doesn't work out that way, they almost take it like a personal affront.
Yeah.
To me personally,
just remember, guys, parallel universes exist.
In Star Trek, we're talking about Star Wars.
Hey, you can't prove it,
Can't disprove
and
it. either.
the Legends universe is proof of it.
True. That is true. So is some of the books that have been released that are not necessarily canon, but like from a certain point of view, and Legends of Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, overall, I mean, I think this is gonna, and I'm basing this completely off of a teaser trailer. I think this movie has a shot at doing exactly what it needs to do, and that's be the wrapping and bow and the cherry on top of this saga.
Yes.
I think this movie has a good chance of blowing us the hell away.
If anything else, it'll be a nice end to the Skywalker saga.
Yeah. And I'm nervous, excited, but a little sad that after December, that'll be the last time we see that title card a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and that crawl.
We'll always see the title card. We'll always see Lucasfilm, and we'll always see a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Now, whether Benioff and Weiss or the Rian Johnson trilogy continued the tradition of the crawl, I don't know. But we will definitely see a long time ago in a galaxy far away. That's basically how the movies start. That's like the first sentence of the book,
Yeah.
So it has to be there.
Yeah. But yeah.
But overall, how do your guys' opinion of the trailer? So we can wrap this up here.
I think it's good. I'm actually looking forward to the new movie and seeing where it goes.
I think it was amazing. I mean, it did what a teaser trailer is supposed to do. It got me excited about Star Wars again. Not that I hadn't been excited, but I am just amped to see this movie now. I cannot wait for December. It cannot come fast enough.
Right, and I'm right there with you on a scale of 1 to 10. This trailer, I would put it right under Force Awakens for teaser. Obviously, Force Awakens is above because of the fact that it was heavy nostalgia, and I mean there was some nostalgia in this teaser with Lando, with C-3PO riding on the back of that sand skiff, for lack of a better term.
Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention this: the bookending of Episode 1 to Episode 9. What was the first line, little thing in the line of Episode 1? Every generation has a legend.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing in this one. Every generation has a legend. Bookending Episode 1, Episode 9.
Yep. Or no.
Same title.
No, episode 1 was every
legend has a beginning.
Yeah, every legend has a beginning. Yeah, you're right, Keith. It was every legend has a beginning.
Because it was the every legend has a beginning. It was the picture of young Anakin walking around on Tatooine, and like the silhouette of Vader kind of superimposed on his shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's still a tie-in because it is still a bookend because you go, the legend begins and now the saga ends. You know what I mean? So it really is bookending itself, just not exactly in the same way you thought. But I mean, it's still, it still definitely works.
Yeah.
But overall, like I put Force Awakens as teaser trailer over this one because of the fact of just straight nostalgia. But this one, you're absolutely right. Like, I cannot wait for the next trailer. I cannot wait for the second trailer and the final fucking trailer and all the TV spots. Give me a featurette. Pour this over me because this is the final Star Wars saga movie, and I want to just bask. I want to bathe in it all the way up until the midnight release. All right, guys, we're going to call this one an episode. Welcome back to the Rebirth, the Journal of the Jedi, here exclusively for Realm of the Mist Entertainment. Guys, why don't we go ahead and let them know where they can find us besides here at Journal of the Jedi. John, I'll start with you.
Well, you can listen to me every Wednesday on War of the Stars. Other than that, you can find me on Facebook at Mark Tolley, on Instagram at John Tolley 3930, and on the Twitter machine at John Mark Tolley 1, because I am, of course, the number one John Mark Tolley on Twitter.
And Keith.
Hey, you guys can find me on the Bottom of the Mist website and Press A Gaming Podcast and whatever podcast they happen to Shanghai me into at the time.
And of course, guys, you can find me anywhere Realm of the Mist is, whether it be here on YouTube, here on Anchor, any quality podcast listening stations like iTunes and Spotify and Google Play and all that happy stuff. Guys, thank you very much for hanging out with us. And as always, may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
Why didn't the Three Little Pigs go in for some kind of flat share scheme?
Does Jesus get to choose which wine he turns it into?
Why don't Sims have the upper body strength to climb out of a swimming pool?
And does everybody really want to be a cat?
I'm Will Baker.
And I'm Alex Prescott.
And if you're the type of person that overthinks these deep philosophical questions, then Think to the Brink is the podcast for you.
From Disney characters to song lyric, debates to social etiquette, tune in every week for your dose of paralysis by analysis.
Quick suggestions are welcome. If you can think it, we can overthink it. Think to the Brink. Available on all podcast platforms.
Hey everyone, this is John Tolley, inviting you to check out War of the Stars, a Star Wars podcast. Each week, me and my co-host Christopher Stolley discuss the news and theories surrounding one of the largest movie franchises in the world. So join us every Wednesday at 8 Eastern as we travel to the galaxy far, far away, right here on Anchor FM and wherever fine podcasts are heard.
You know, when you need CBD, vape juice, or a new mod, go to Vape Scorpion. 10859 Boston Avenue, Philadelphia, PA 19116. They are formerly known as East Coast Vapor. They have all your needs, all the equipment, all the juice. And hey, while you're there, sit down, enjoy a beer, bring your own, and just hang out with a bunch of cool people. So guys, if you really need your next vape machine, or maybe you just want to try a locally made juice, make sure you hit up Vape Scorpion. That's 1085 Boston Avenue, Philadelphia, PA 19116. Or give a call to 215-464-8273. Oh yeah, and make sure you let them know that Realm of the Mist Entertainment sent you.
He said that she said, how dare you say that? That's offensive. Well, someone's gotta say it. It had to be said with Venus. Catch the live show Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Check out the recordings at any time. Guest host weekly. Listener, beware. Mature content, sexual content, trigger warning. Do you dare say it?
Hi, my name's Chris, and I'm here to tell you about Realm of the Mist Podcast. Realm of the Mist Podcast, we talk about all the great entertainment things from movies, music, books, comic books, and many, many other forms of entertainment, as well as politics, current events, and just general humor and having a good time. If you're looking for a podcast that is right up your alley, look no further than Realm of the Mist Podcast here on Anchor.fm or where fine podcasts can be heard.
Hi, this is Dave from the Comic Collection at 83 Bustleton Pike in Feasterville, Pennsylvania. Our phone number is 215-357-3332. We are right next to Northeast Philadelphia. We have action figures, gaming, statues, albums, and CDs, graphic novels, other knickknacks, and, of course, comics. Established in 1985, we are your go-to store. Come by and say hello, and say that the guys from Radiocast FM Radio sent you. The address again is 83 Bustleton Pike, Feasterville, Pennsylvania, or call 215-357-3332.
Three-eyed turtle? Is that all right?
I'm fucking a three-eyed turtle. Who wants a mustache ride?
Are you tired of the same old podcasts with no humor? Well, join us for After Hours, where everything is funny, at least to us, on Anchor.fm and where quality podcasts are heard.
How the fuck did we get on this?
I don't know.
Fucking FCC started this shit. It's their fucking fault.
Hey everyone, this is Dak.
This is Liam.
And this is White People Shit.
We are a bi-weekly podcast.
Whoa. Maybe you're bi-week. I'm straight and strong.
It means twice a week, you douche.
Oh. Yeah, listen to us twice a week. On White People Wednesdays, we talk about gay stuff, zombies, superhero sex positions.
And on Feature Peep Fridays, we interview the Feature Peep of the Week.
Yeah, like a fucking furry.
Just search WPS Podcast and look for the white dude in red pajamas.
We're on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.
We believe in equal opportunity humor, where all things can be made fun of. So if your feelings get hurt and you're offended, you can always
eat a dick.